So the fella, he says, well, 50 women, could 50 women really be wrong? You know, could they be lying? And then that's where it dawned on me. I'm like, I'm a black male YouTuber. We're attacked by the tens to hundreds of trolls, and they're lying most of the time. Sometimes not in my case, not in most cases, not like 9 out of 10. Sometimes people are flagged for reasons that are legit, but most of the time they're exaggerating what someone said to file it into one of the Google categories, or they're just outright lying and mass striking people because YouTube doesn't really deal with that on a case-by-case basis. They don't have the workers to do that, and they err on the side of flagging down, of allowing the channel to be flagged down. You can have evidence that people conspired. Like, I remember when Tariq Nasheed's channel was flagged down, you had a whole bunch of people lying and saying that he was flagged down for false flagging someone else. And that was the case. Not only did Tariq have a screenshot on why his channel was taken down, he also had a screenshot of people on 4chan conspiring to take down his channel. So, and it's not just him, like, and it's not just coming from white supremacists, like in the case of Tariq Nasheed. And in the case of me, I've had a video flagged down from white supremacists, and it was bullshit, and I even put the video back up. I've also had a video age restricted, and I think this came from a young Pharaohite. So we got melanated cultists that flagged down our channel and some bullshit. We got women who are flagging down. Sometimes it's legit, because like black women, you'll have people like, and I think Obsidian went too far. You have Tommy Sotomayor goes too far. They're too high in that black powerless propaganda, and maybe they deserve to have their channel stripped. I'll go there. But most people that are criticizing the other gender, they don't deserve it. It's exaggerations. It's straight up lies sometimes, because they know they can get away with it if they do it in bulk. So we're flagged down by everybody. We are multiracially flagged down, and most of the time when we're flagged down, it's people lying. And I told this guy on Twitter, unlike our trolls, haters, cultists, racists, bigots, bitches, and punks, and I guess I could throw in a fuckboy or two, that flag us, the women, the 50 women, they had a pool from Gloria Allred to where they could share $100 million from Cosby. They had some money on the line. I mean, if Gloria Allred put a pool to flag black male YouTubers, so there'd be no more black male YouTubers on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we get flagged down for free. So we don't look at things a little bit different. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these accusers of Cosby, they were proven to be either straight up liars or highly questionable before the first trial. You know, and then when you have the second trial, you have a DA going Willie Horton on Cosby. If you don't know who Willie Horton is, look him up. DA ran on getting Cosby. And then, you know, thanks to Mr. Research and later on Nicole's View, people have access to the transcripts in the trial. And if you look at the actual trial and the evidence that comes up, Andrea Constant, the woman involved in the conviction in the two trials, her testimony is a mess. I mean, you look at it yourself if you don't know what I'm talking about. But most people probably have heard that she was dishonest about the type of pills she got. She was dishonest about not knowing a witness from her university that testified that she had planned this stuff, and she was talking about how she was going to do it. everything else kind of boils down to he said, she said. But then you look at whose story is more plausible, and this is where I say I look at victims as adults. You know, if you're just walking into some stupid shit, you're not a victim. I'm not going to say, if you're going to say, I'm kicking it with somebody, that the pills he's giving me, they're not Quaaludes, they're Benadryl. And after all that, after you were drowsy and fondled off of Benadryl, you went to his show and you called him a bunch of times and you hung out and you introduced him to your family. If all that goes down, I'm not looking at you as a victim. So that's just me personally, but I know a lot of people, this is matter of fact, this is one of those areas where, like in a jury, women are more discerning. Matter of fact, I think Cosby was probably convicted because the jury consisted mostly of strong white men who was like, let's get him. He's hurting the babies. He's hurting, you know, a strong, simpish, albino classified as white is more dangerous on a jury. And this is something, and I can vouch because I've seen this too, because Mr. Research says the same thing, but I can say I am substantiating what he's saying because I'm not copying what he's saying because I've seen the exact same thing. I've seen it on Lipstick Alley. A strong character, albino classified as white, who has a strong simpish vibe. They can make a case for rape against somebody who's completely innocent harder than anybody. And really, it's not just albino classified as white, because a black dude can do it too. If you had a black dude who was hard up, making passionate, it could be completely emotional, no logic to it, arguments on that jury, that Cosby is a rapist, it wouldn't matter about, like, they had a couple witnesses who had to admit that they brought the Quaaludes to the party, and all the inconsistencies to the original testimony when Constant went to the police, all of that would not matter. Her bringing them gifts after the alleged sexual assault, that would not matter if you have a convincing group of people who are on that strong simpish stuff. That is, they're worse than feminists. And actually, they'd probably call themselves feminists. So, but they're worse than that kind of standard feminist, because the standard feminists, they reach an age where menopause starts to set in, and they kind of sick of people gaming the system that they set up. And when you are going to somebody's concerts after a sexual assault, and then you got people testifying in court saying you plan to get some money out of the dude, then that's the older feminists are kind of like, come on now, this motherfucker's half blind. He just lost his daughter. They're a little bit more humane and less cultish. But that's it, because that's something that a lot of people don't understand, because this really isn't about race as much as it is a demographic that's constantly attacked for bullshit by people who have nothing to gain from it. And the reason why I say it's not about race, because a lot of these same black male YouTubers, they make videos talking about how we need to get rid of the R. Kellys from our lives. We need to, so we make videos about how we need to eliminate this sort of sexual assault, sexual misconduct. And they'll make videos about Cosby. Why was he messing with all of these white women? I mean, I think Andrea Constant was probably more of a octoroon with her afro. But why? And then you got others who are like, man, who are more on the MGTOW, and they're saying, hey, Free pussy is dangerous and it ends up being more expensive. Why weren't you, investing in some front door hoes? Like Charlie Sheen or somebody. You don't see him going to prison. He was giving hoes AIDS. That right there. If you can't, that you should go to jail just on principle, at least for a few months for giving a hoe AIDS. Because that's messing up everything for everybody. So that's really the follow-up video, because I talked about how in the young Pharaoh video, blaming the victim kind of reminded me of the Cosby case, because I don't really see you as a victim. I don't see Andrea Constant as a victim. I see her as somebody who peeps game. And if they're going to put up $100 million to, like I said, to flag down the channel of people who are raising money for orphans, that's going to get flagged down. Fuck the orphans. Flag them down. So as a group of people who are constantly attacked by numbers and passionate cries, because I know who flagged down one of my videos. I did a video where I put the same video back up because I know what was in it wasn't, like, I know it was flagged down because it was numbers game. I know where the numbers game came. So it wasn't that I was violating rules. It was just a whole bunch of people flagging me at once because they organized on Twitter and I had screenshots of it. YouTube don't care. So we're from the demographic where we deal with this madness. You dig? So it's that simple. You want to know why black male YouTubers see things with Cosby different? This is why. Okay? And like I said, I think he's a dirty Mac because he hangs around. He was basically trying to get Hope pussy. And that's kind of dirty Macish, but it's not sexual assault. Hope, and what I mean by Hope pussy is like, there are women who are hoping to if they have a career, to raise their star status. So they're hanging around Cosby. Like I've said before, I'm not interested in multiple people because we get this all the time. Show me the evidence. That's what I told the dude on Twitter, because if we go by a whole bunch of people ganging up, first of all, that's easy to do. That's basically lynch mob. We've got crazed cultists. We got people with a whole bunch of subscribers on social media. It doesn't even have to get to major television. It's easy to organize 50 people that will lie out of principle. No financial gain involved at all. So we have to go by, in court, we have to go by evidence. And nail one of these women brought any evidence. I mean, the only type of evidence came with a live omission, because it was that deposition where Cosby said he got quaaludes to give to women for sex. But in that same deposition, he was saying, it was like, he described it as he wasn't giving it to him involuntarily. It was like somebody who keeps a 6-pack because he might have some females over and he wants to get them drunk. But he's getting them drunk by here. Have a beer. They aren't turning it down. They're getting drunk. They're having sex. That's not sexual assault. If it is in your world, because then in that case, we're going to have to really start treating women like children in other ways. And I'm not going to blame the MGTOWs. Right now, I think MGTOW has some holes in it. But that's where I'm at. So, because a lot of people question, why are you a rape apologist? They'll just call me a rape apologist. No, there were rape kits and DNA, and there was a tussle, or if there's a video like R. Kelly, I mean, if there's evidence of some shit, then it is what it is. If you have quaaludes in your body and you're getting your blood checked right away, not talking about Cosby gave, this is what happened in the trial. Somebody came to the trial saying Cosby gave her quaaludes, and then later said in the trial, because they made the point that she got it from her friend, and she had mentioned that she came there, like in another statement, she had mentioned that she came there and she was buzzing from it beforehand. So how do you get it from Cosby if you were already buzzing? And it was like a gotcha moment in court. So she's like, oh yeah, he didn't give me them Quaaludes. I was mistaken. You know, it was one of those situations. So that is the type of evidence where I would say a non-simpish jury, and I think that's basically what cooked Cosby, is they were able to screen the jury for the right breed of simp or the young feminist. And that'll do it, you know. And instead of somebody like me who's like, why are we even here? If you can put Cosby in court, you can put anybody in court for some shit based on this, you know. And this is important because if you want to prevent serial rape, then you want people to know that they have to go to authorities within good time, especially if you were drugged. That'll show up in your blood. You know, nobody's going to accuse you of taking the date rape drug to get high if you go to the police while it's still in your blood. Yeah, nobody, or Quaaludes to get high if you have no history of doing Quaaludes or whatever. You know, that's kind of an old thing right now, but that's it. Too long, and I'll talk to y'all later. Out. 42. Keep it going.